Well, the Xbox Game Pass lineup for December is set as Microsoft just sent out a PR detailing some of the new games hitting the program in December. And I gotta say, it is one of the best months of the year. Not only do we have brand new games launching day and date into the service, but we also have the addition of some critically acclaimed hits. And I want to go over the list for you guys. What is going on, guys? Randall Thor 19, the man with the million, back again with another video. And you know what? I think you can still get Xbox Game Pass for $1. I think Microsoft is running that promotion until January. So if you haven't signed up yet to try out the service, this might be the month to do it, as there's some great titles being added into the service. So let's get into it, shall we? I know this is for December, but they're actually adding a game today, November 29th, called The Gardens Between. Now, I'll have a review up on my channel pretty shortly, as I just finished this game a couple days ago. And it's about two friends. So you follow two friends, Ariana and Friend, who fall into a surreal world full of dreamlike garden islands. Together, they'll embark on a nostalgic journey through a world built around objects from their childhood, lighting constellations and illuminating threads from a time when friendship was the most important thing in the world. Manipulate time to solve puzzles and traverse each precious memory to reach the summit of each island in this single-player puzzle adventure. So I actually really like this game, and in my review I'll go over all the details. It's a puzzle game where you control the flow of time. Really interesting, really short though. It's a 2-hour experience, easy 1,000 gamer score. The price was a little off-putting, it's $20. But as part of Xbox Game Pass, if you're already a subscriber, you really don't got to worry about that. And if you're signing up for $1, well, you can experience the whole game for really cheap. But I think it's definitely worth a playthrough, especially if you like the single-player puzzle games. Next up, we have Mutant Year Zero, another brand new game launching day and date into the service. That hits on December 4th. It's a tactical adventure game with turn-based combat and real-time exploration of a post-apocalyptic world. Mutant Year Zero, Road to Eden, puts you in command of a unique squad of mutant soldiers as you scavenge through the remains of civilization to survive. From the creators of Hitman and Payday, experience a mix of story, exploration, stealth, and strategy in the brutal environment of a decimated planet Earth as your band of heroes embark on a quest to discover the legend of Eden. Now, this game reminds me a lot of XCOM. I'm not that big of a fan of XCOM. I have enjoyed like XCOM 1 and XCOM 2, so this game really doesn't speak to me, but the fact that it's going to be in Game Pass day one and I don't have to spend $40 or $50 to play this game really makes me interested in at least trying it out. Some of the previews I've read say the game might even be like one of the sleeper hits of the year. I've seen some people call it like a masterpiece of the genre. So that makes me really interested in trying it out. And as a Game Pass member, I can just download this game on December 4th when it releases. But that's not it. On December 6th, Microsoft is adding Strange Brigade. Join an elite agency of extraordinary adventures and investigate the darkest corners of Egypt where mythological menaces manifest. Strange Brigade offers a rip-roaring 1930s-style campaign full of peril, intrigue, and good old daring-do for 1 to 4 players as you tackle an army of mummified monsters. Solve mind-bending puzzles, defy dastardly traps, unearth incredible treasure in a mysterious ancient landscape, and use the most marvelous firearms known to man, and thrilling third-person combat to defeat the Witch Queen Sateki and send her petrifying minions back to the afterlife. Now, I actually had a review up for this game on my channel when it launched, and one of the critiques I had about it was that it was too expensive for what it offers. It's fun, yeah, in 4-player co-op, so if you have 4 other buddies, 3 other buddies to play this with, you'll have a good time. It's just, it wasn't great, but for a certain price, $30, $20, it would be a fun experience to go through with your friends. And while now that it's launching into Game Pass and you can obviously play it with your subscription or $1, this is like the perfect game to play. You know, it wasn't worth buying at $60, but it is worth experiencing at least one time. So when this game hits on December 6th, I can't help but recommend you guys grab your buddies and check it out. It is worth experiencing. There are some cool puzzles that the game has. but it just wasn't worth buying at full price, if you know what I mean. But if you want to learn more about the game, you can obviously check out my review on the channel and see if it's worth downloading. But that's not it. So those are the 3 games that Microsoft announced today are adding for this in December, but they also announced back at XO18 more games coming to Game Pass, and I'm going to go over those right now. Now, on December 17th, we have Hellblade finally coming to Xbox Game Pass, and I think I've praised this game every single time I've talked about it. I have a review up when I played it on PlayStation back in 2017. It came to Xbox this year. I did another video about it. I love Hellblade. And if you own an Xbox One X, the game is enhanced, it runs in 4K, or you can choose 1080p 60 mode. It's a beautiful game made by Ninja Theory, who Microsoft recently purchased. So if you want to kind of get a glimpse into what Ninja Theory can do, what potential games they may make for Microsoft, for Xbox exclusives and things of that nature, check it out. Now, normally the game goes for around $30, but you can get it in Xbox Game Pass. It is what some would call like half walking simulator, half a combat game, but the story is the most important thing in it, as Senua is dealing with demons in her head. She suffers from these disorders, right? And if you do play the game, please wear headphones. It's one of the few games where I'll tell people you have to use a headphone. The game was designed because Senua hears voices in her head. It's one of the best games of this gen, one of the best stories of this generation, and please download it when you get the chance. Next up, we also have another critically acclaimed game, one of my favorite games of the generation, and that's Ori and the Blind Forest, hitting on December 20th. Now, this is the game that I actually used to hit a million gamer score all the way back at E3 2016, so it does hold a special place in my heart. It's almost a perfect game. I think I gave it a 9.5 out of 10, which is why I cannot wait for the sequel, Ori and the Will of the Wisps. So this is the definitive edition. They added new levels, changed some things around, some places that were inaccessible after you kind of escaped them in the original release, you can go back to. So it's the best version of the game, and this is a must play. I think it's like an 89 or 90 on Metacritic. It's one of the highest rated Xbox exclusives. It is a must play. It's a masterpiece, in my opinion, of course, of the Metroidvania style of game. The artwork in this game, fantastic. And the combat and the exploration are top-notch as well. And that leads us to the last game, Kingdom 2 Crowns. Now, there is no date given for it yet. They just said mid-December. It's the sequel to Kingdom. It adds like 2-player co-op to it. I don't really know much about the title. I did play the last game, but I wasn't a big fan. But it is also launching day and date into the service, which is one of the things I like about Xbox Game Pass quite a bit. Yeah, they add some games from their back catalog, like Strange Brigade, and then they add some critically acclaimed games from the backlog, like Hellblade and Ori and the Blind Forest, but then you also get brand new games launching into the service the first day they're released on Xbox, such as The Gardens Between, Mutant Year Zero, and Kingdom 2 Crowns. That, I think, puts Xbox Game Pass, kind of elevates it, in my opinion, over some of the other subscription services. So my recommendations for the month: if you're into single-player puzzle games, download The Gardens Between. If you are into XCOM, make sure you check out Mutant Year Zero. If you want to play a 4-player co-op title, download The Strange Brigade. I think everybody should download Hellblade and Ori and the Blind Forest, as I think they're definitely worth experiencing. And man, you know, if you're already a subscriber to Xbox Game Pass, just download it. If you're not a subscriber, you know, you can get one for a single $1. You know, but that may not all be for the month, right? Those are the 6 games that we currently know coming for December. Microsoft will sometimes add more games later on, but those are the 6 games we know coming for sure. So that is the video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you give it a like, share it out on social media like Twitter and all those other places. That would be greatly appreciated. If it was your first time here, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell if you always want to be notified when I drop new content. Thank you guys so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it, and I'll see everybody in the next video. Later, guys.